Hi, welcome to another video from the Shopify Function API section. In this video, we'll be talking about the Shopify Cart Transformation API. As the name suggests, it will transform your Shopify cart. For example, you can update, expand, and merge cart line item in the Shopify cart page. For example, you can create products bundle natively in Shopify using this API. So when someone buy a surfboard, for example, they can get a free GoPro mount as a free accessory for their order, and it will show up like this in the Shopify checkout page. I have two notes to mention about this API. The first one is you can install only one cart transformation function in a Shopify store, and the second one is, for example, the update operation that will allow you to have dynamic pricing, so you can change the cart line item price in the Shopify checkout is only available for Shopify Plus and development store. So let's go back to the screen and let's build a Shopify app that will allow Shopify store owner to create products bundle so their user can get a free GoPro mount when they order a specific surfboard. So let's make it happen. So that's what we'll be building for today's episode. So let's select a product, for example, the hydrogen one. And when you are select the hydrogen one, you will get the GoPro mount for free. So it will be, and the bundle, let's call it hydrogen pack. So let's save it. Let's go to our catalog and let's search for the hydrogen one. It's this one. And when I click on buy it, I have the hydrogen pack. I am getting a free GoPro mount. So let's get started. Awesome. So let's get started the tutorial. I will be using, as usual, the Shopify default Remix template. So let's copy the URL and let's go to the terminal, open up a new tab, and cd into my Shopify dev environment and clone, and let's call it Shopify transformation. After that, cd into it and let's run npm install. Awesome, we have everything installed, so let's run npm run dev to create our Shopify app. So let's create it. It will be cart transformation API. So let's install the app. So we can click on P to preview the product and install the app, and we will get the Shopify Remix template default content. Awesome, so let's kill the server and npm run Shopify app generate extension. And let's do cart transformation function. We'll be using TypeScript as usual for all our Shopify function tutorial for type safety, and it will help us with development. That's great, it's been created. Let's open up Visual Studio Code. I trust. And as you will see here, we have a new folder called extension. We have cart transformer. We have local for translation. We have generated for the type. We have the source. This is the most important part. And let's go to the run. So we don't have anything here. So this is where the magic will happen, and we should have our custom logic here and return the operation to merge two items and display it as one in the Shopify checkout page. And we can go to the schema. This is for the GraphQL to pick up, and we can go to the run GraphQL. This is the query that we will need to get all the stuff about the cart to add this logic here. But first of all, let's update our scope so we can have the cart transformer in our app. So we can go and search for cart, and let's add the scope to the toml file. And let's run npm run Shopify app deploy. Should be deploy. So it's releasing our cart transformation API function. And this we does it to be able to update the scope. So we can run npm run dev, and because this is the first version of the Shopify Cart Transform API, this will create a new environment variable. So that if you look into this .env, we have Shopify dash the name of the function dash ID. This is our Shopify Cart Transformer function API ID that we need to use later on. So we need to update the scope. That's great. Let's open up the GraphQL stuff editor so we can see what we need. So let's open up new one, and let's have a mutation. So in order to have the cart transformer created, we need to run this mutation, and this mutation will accept the function ID, block on failure. So with this block on failure, it's wherever, let's say the function failed to run, this will block the user from adding something to the cart. I recommend to have it false, but it depends on the logic of your app. And we have the meta field. This is really important because we will be using it later on to link our Shopify app UI with the Shopify function API, and it will be an array of meta field. And this should return if there is any error. And it should return the cart transform ID. So let's grab our function ID. And let's go to the meta field, namespace. It will be app specific, so it will be app cart transform. The key, it will be function configuration, and the type, it should be JSON, and the value, it should be a JSON string. So let's open up the console log. It will be so we'll have the target variant ID, we will have the add-on variant ID, and the add-on price. So we can specify the price of the add-on. Let's have it for free. And let's have it the bundle title. Let's do like a creator pack. So let's go to our Shopify store. I will go to the product that I would like. So I already create a product called GoPro mount. If we go to /json, we can get the variant, and the default one I will get the admin graphical API for this one. So let's have it here. This is for the add-on, which is the GoPro mount, and let's search for the surfboard that we would like to bundle with this GoPro mount. Let's do this one. And this is great. So we have the target variant ID. So when the user add this one to the cart, we will add this add-on as a free add-on, and the bundle will be called creator pack in the Shopify order and checkout page. So let's stringify this JSON. And we should escape it, so we can go to escape JSON, escape, and that's great. So we have everything there. So let's remove this one, and let's remove this one. So we have our first cart transform function created. That's great, but this will not do anything because in our extension folder we don't have any logic there right now. So let's go back to the GraphQL and let's pull up all the stuff that we need. So we have the cart line item, we have the ID, we have the quantity. Also we will be needing the cost, amount per quantity, amount, and the currency code. This is for the cost. Let's get the merchandise, which is the product. So we will use in the product variant fragment. We will get in the ID, the title. This ID will be comparing to the ID that we have in our meta field to check if this one is the right one, so we can add it. And we will just like have the title and the product, just extra for the logs. So the title and handle. And let's go here. Yes, here. Cart transform to get our meta field. So meta field, the key that we defined here. This is the key. Its function and the namespace, which is the app. So the app is for app specific meta field. We have the key, and let's return the value and the JSON value. So it will be parsing our JSON and it will get us the JSON format. So it will be here, namespace. So awesome. So we update our query, and after updating your query in Shopify functions, you should run, if you are using the TypeScript, so it should run this command to update your type. So it will be run Shopify app function typegen. And let's go to the run function. In the input, let's first of all get the configuration. Which will be input dot cart transform dot meta field dot JSON file dot JSON value. This is our meta field that we pass here, and it will parse it as a JSON. But even with that, you will just parse this part, and we should parse this one. So it will be dot transform, and let's parse it as a JSON. So JSON dot parse, or empty array. Let's call it transform instead of configuration. So we are getting our transform, which is good. So we can console log it. We are getting our configuration. That's great. And let's add the typing for this transform. So it will be help us. So it will be type of transform. So we will have, as we did here, we have target variant ID, which is a string. We have the add-on variant ID. We have the add-on price, which is also a string, and we have the bundle title. And let's pass it here. We transform. It will be an array. And let's get the line item that we are looking for. So it will be target line item. So it will be input dot cart dot line, and let's do find. So it will return transform sum variant.id. So it will be not variant here. So sum, and sum, it will return a boolean. So as you can see here, it will return a boolean if it's find it or not. So it will be line.merchandise.id if it's equal to transform.target variant ID. As you can see here, we have a typing issue here. So we can just go, let's do line merchandise dot type name is equal to product variant, and let's return this stuff. If it's not, just return false, just to fix this typing issue. So we are getting the target line item, so we can check if the target item is found. If it's found, we will return the operation. So it will be return operation array, and we have different type for the cart transform. We have update, which this one only available for plus and development store. We have expand, which will what we'll be doing here. We have merge. So let's go to expand. So it will be an object expand, and let's pass the first argument, which is the cart line item ID. And we will get in the title. That is our bundle title. So we need to find the transform that we are looking for. So we can go const target transform, and this is, it's have the same typing issue, so we can do the same stuff here. let's add this logic here also. So if the target transform and target line item is found, so we can return the operation. For the title, it will be target transform dot bundle title, and we need to pass expand cart item. It's an array of line item, and the first one it will be the line item that we are targeting, and the second one it will be the add-on. So here, so it will be merchandise ID, so it will be the target line item dot merchandise dot ID. The quantity, so we can specify the quantity. I will just pass the quantity that the customer is passing. It's the quantity, and we need to also pass the price, because we can change the price. For example, when it's like at the creator pack, the price of the surfboard can be less. For example, can be like a 20% less. When you are getting the surfboard and the GoPro mount, the surfboard might cost less or more. So we'll be passing the price, and it will have price. Let's go back here. It will have adjustment, so we can just pass this stuff here, and the amount, it will be the target line item cost amount per quantity, not amount. Have the add-on, it will be merchandise, and it will be the target transform dot add-on variant ID. The quantity, it will be 1, or we can have like the quantity of the item, and the price, it will be adjustment fixed per unit. So currently everything is correct. For this typing issue, you can just go to this and do the target line item dot the target line item dot merchandise dot type is product variant. That's to fix this type issue. So that's great. So we have the logic there. So currently we can start. I will have the log here, and we can just pass this up. So our everything is building correctly, and the draft has been updated successfully for our cart transform. So we can just go and test this stuff. And let's go to the GraphQL, and let's check our cart transform. This is the query that we'll be using to get the cart transform. So you can just click on it, and as you can see here, we have the cart transform, we have the function ID, the meta field that we define, it's our app-id.cart transform. We have the value here. As you can see here, this is the JSON value. We have transform, target variant ID, target variant, add-on variant ID, add-on price, and the bundle price. So before running, I made a mistake in the GraphQL run, so I will add the type name here, because I have to pick it for the type stuff. And also one thing, so we can go back to our partner account, we can go to the app, and we can go to the extensions, click on transform, go to the logs. This log in the terminal is come handy, but also you can check it from the partner account. So here we have the operation, and as you can see here, merchandise ID we have it for the target products, but for the add-on we don't have it because there is a misspelling in the configuration. So this is the transform, so we can get the add-on variant ID, and we can paste it here and here, and we can go back to the products page, out of the cart, or we can just click on buy it now. And as you can see here, we have our creator pack, we have the item price, and we have our GoPro mount. Just keep one thing to mention, for example, the GoPro mount. If the GoPro mount is not available to purchase, like it's out of the stock, let's do track quantity, and let's go here to make sure that is out of stock. So it's currently sold out. If we would like to do the same, it will not be working. Yes, so currently we are blocking the checkout, so the item cannot be added because we have this one and we would like to add one, which is the GoPro mount, and it's currently not available in the stock, so we cannot add it right now. Even if you click on buy it now, out of stock. So just make sure that the add-on is available for purchase. So that's great. And checkout. As you can see here, the creator pack is set. So I think we are already set for the backend stuff for the Shopify function, and the missing part right now is building a UI to let the Shopify store owner to add their product bundle in the app UI. So this is the next thing. So we can go to our app index and remove all the stuff that we don't need, which is almost everything. So we can just return null for this one. Just for the instant, remove all of this, remove the title bar, and remove all of this stuff. Just to have empty page. That's great. If we click on P to preview the products. So currently we don't have anything. And let's remove unused products. So we have nothing. Let's first of all, the title updated to products bundles. And let's have a primary action here to save the changes. So it will be on action. So let's do content first. It will be save. And we will have on action. It will be a function, but for right now, let's pass handle submit. And let's have it here. Handle submit. It will just console log submit. And let's build here. Let's build the forum. The method will be post. I will be using the use submit instead of the forum, but if you would like to use the forum, you can use it. So I will be using the form layout from Polarize. And we will have an inline stack of field, and the gap will be 500. Let's have text field. That's great, but we need the type, which will be the case autocomplete. Autocomplete off. Let's import it first because it doesn't seem to be imported. So text field. Similar stuff here, and the bundle title. So let's format. So we have the target variant ID, the add-on variant ID, the add-on price, and the bundle title. And let's have a button to save or add a new button. So let's have it inline stack, or let's do block stack. It will be a button. If we will submit, we will be using the form, but I will use submit instead. So that's great, and let's align it to center. Align center. Add a new bundle. So we have everything here. Let's add use state, and you can use React hook form. For the sake of the video, I will be just using use state instead. So let's do current target variant ID, similar for the other one, for the other price, and for the bundle title. And let's go here. So the value will be the current variant ID. On change, it will update this one, similar for the other one. So that's great. The target variant ID, the add-on, all of this stuff. But let's add some logic to the loader, so we can get if there is a cart transform function already set in our Shopify store or not, because we only allow to create one. This is why I decide to make this JSON format, so we can have multiple products bundle, because JSON allow us to do a lot of stuff. So we can do the admin, and let's go to our GraphQL editor, and let's get this query that will get up the first transform, because we can only have one. So I just get the first one, and for meta field, that's the first one, because we will only have one field. So let's grab this query, and let's add try and catch, and let's do response await admin dot GraphQL and let's get the data. So it will be data await response, and calling the function and getting the data. I will be returning a JSON which will have the cart transform ID, and I will be using the ID when we would like to create or update in the action function. So it's transform. Let's import it from node. It's currently deprecated, but we will be using it right now. And also I would like to get the transformer. Let's have the transformer here, or you can call it the bundle. It's just how we would like to call it, but I will call it transform. And let's have default transform, which is this one. So we are getting the ID for the cart transform function, and we are getting the default one from the meta field that we set, so we can load them in our app. So let's go here and using use loaded data from the remix and type of loader, we will get the default transformer and the cart function ID. That's great. Let's load the default one. We already have one set in our meta field. If we go to the query, run it, we already have some value there, so let's load them. Default transform, we will map it, and let's have a inline stack. That's great. And have similar to what we have here. Instead, it will be the value from the transform. So it will be transform dot target variant ID, add-on variant ID, price, and the bundle title. That's great. If we go back to our app, so we are loading the previous one, as you can see here right now. Let's add a divider here. Let's add a div with the height of 20 and the divider. So this is the previous one that we already have in our GraphQL, in our meta field, not GraphQL. So we have the add-on, the creator pack, and stuff like this. Because if we create a cart transfer function, we will not be creating again, and we will be using the meta field to update them. So we will be loading the default one that we already in the meta field and update or remove existing one and update the meta field. So the meta field will be the connection point between our Shopify app and the Shopify Cart Transform API function. And this one we'll be using later on. And I would like to have a stage of transformer. It will be using the default one. Instead of mapping the default one, I will be mapping the transformer, and here I can go. So on change, we will be updating the existing transform. Similar to other one, let's do this one, the price, and the bundle title. This will be the last one. And let's have a button as we did here, but to remove a bundle. And the tone, it will be, I'm not sure about the available one. Yeah, critical. Let's do remove. And on action, on click, we can just remove it. So that's great. So for example, I would like to update this one. Let's do GoPro hero mode. I don't know, we can remove this one. Nothing will be here because the save is not working right now. So let's work on that. So currently we have everything is there. So let's handle the submit. First of all, I will import use submit. So submit and use submit from Remix. And the first thing I will check if the current add-on price isn't empty, and current add-on variant ID isn't empty, and current targets variant ID isn't empty, and the bundle title also. And here let's do submit. I will submit the transformer. I will stringify it to pass it. Pass an extra value here, which is the method. It will be post. And for the login, so we can use the navigation hook. So navigation, use navigation. You can have is login dot state if it's submitting. So let's have it here. So login is loaded. So that's great. Let's go here and let's just load our stuff. I will be passing the form data, and let's get the cart transform ID and the transformer, and let's just console log them for right now. We didn't pass the cart transform ID, which is really critical, so let's pass it here. And let's go back to the app and click on save. So let's try, because in our handle submit we are checking the current add-on price, variant ID, and add-on and the bundle title if it's not empty. So let's go back here. Let's have this value here, and let's remove this one, and let's click on save. So it's currently saved. We have the transformer, we have the transformer ID, and the one thing that we miss is we didn't push our current one to the transformer. So the first thing is create a new transformer, and this one should be pushing the stuff, and here we can just pass the transformer. So let's go back here, click on save, and as you can see here we are getting an array of transformer, and we are getting the transformer ID. That's great. And let's go to the action. Let's have more logic there. So if the cart transformer ID is defined, we can update the meta field. There is no update cart. This is autocomplete. We can just go back here, update meta field. I already have a GraphQL mutation for this one to update the GraphQL, to update the meta field. And we will be passing variables. So the variables will be the set of input. So we can go back here, and here it will be meta field, and it will be an array. So the first thing is the owner ID. The owner ID will be our cart transformer ID. So in this case it will be this one. The namespace that we already have, which is on the run. So it's this one. And the key, this is the key. And this is the namespace. And we need also to pass the value, which is our JSON. So let's close this stuff, and this is what we need. So we can just grab it here, go back to our action, and let's remove this stuff to make it a JS instead of JSON, JS objects. So this one, it will be the cart transform ID, and the value, it will be JSON.stringify, and let's load the data. So it will be data, and it will be await response JSON, and let's check if there is any error from the graphical query, from the graphical mutation. So it will be graphical metafield set.error if there is the error. So if there is error, so it will be like this, and let's do an array of error, else just return success to be true. So this is the case if the cart transform is defined and it's created. If it's not, so we will be having another response, it will be a GraphQL, but this one, it will be creating a cart transform, so it will be create. So this is the mutation, so it will be cart transform create, and it will be cart transform create, and we need to pass the function ID, we need to pass the meta field, and block on failure if it will be true or false. And let's just add the cart transform ID, and let's have all of this as a variable. So the function ID, it will be string, it will be string. So let's pass it here. Meta field, meta field input, and we have block on failure, which is a boolean with the $sign, and let's pass it here. Awesome. So we can just pass it here, and for the extra argument, it will be variable, and let's pass the variable. So we have the function ID. So we already deployed the app for updating the scope, so we are already having the Shopify GraphQL. So just make sure to rerun the server if you didn't after updating the scope to get the function ID, so I will be passing it like this, so it will be process dot env dot transform and the meta field. So it's auto completed. So the key is the functions configuration, the namespace is cart transform, and the value is there. And the only thing that is missing is the block on failure. Let's have it to false, or let's have it true for development at least. So that's great. And let's get the data, and after that console log it. If there is error, return error. If it's not, that's return success. That's great. So let's use the action loader to get all of this stuff. So action data, use action data, and it should have success and error, which is array. Let's go here to the layout. So the action data is success. Let's display a banner from polarize. The tone which will be success, and for error, just like a banner with critical stuff. So for this one, you can just have the handle submit here, the transform, and in either case just parse and submit. So if there is some current stuff, we can just push it to this array that we defined here, but let's have the default one to be transforms. Is this one for creating a transform. So the type should be JSON, and also for the function. So and let's click here. So let's click on save successfully. For example, I will update this one to be hero pack, and let's log the stuff. And as you can see here, we have hero pack. So we can test the stuff that we update. So we can go back here, this one, let's remove it. Let's click on buy it now. We can see the hero back is currently working, and we can also go back here. Let's do creator back plus GoPro. Our Shopify page, click on buy it now, and as you can see here, creator back plus GoPro. This UI might not be very user friendly because the user has to specify the target and the other variant ID, but I already have some idea to make it better. So we can just go back to our app here, use app bridge, and let's go here to the loader. I will have a function called handle variant picker, and another one for handling add-on variant picker. I will be using the Shopify resource picker, so this one, resource picker, that will help me to select an item. It will be similar to this one. That's called Shopify use a bridge, so it will be an async function, so it will be a constant variant, so await Shopify dot resource picker, and this one is a function that will accept the type. It can be collection, product, variant, and I will be just selecting the variant, and we have multiple. I will set it to false, and after that console log the variant, the first one, because I would like to guess just one variant. Yep, makes sense. And the same stuff it will be here, so it will be variant and console log it. For this one we can, if the variant is defined, we can set the current variant ID, and similar for this one. So let's go back here where we are adding new stuff. So let's do block stack. This is for the add-on. It will be a button, select a variant. That's great how it's done. And let's have a gap of 500. Let's do the same for the target. It will be block stack align the gap 500, and let's close it here. Select variant, and that's great. So what this one does, it will open the resource picker so the Shopify owner can easily search for the variant that you would like to have instead of typing the ID. So we can go back here. So we have an issue of the transform map. I already know where the issue is coming from. Let's have this one first. That's great. So it's for the default transformer. We need to parse the JSON that we are getting. So this one. So we need to do the same stuff that we did for the function, like for the function backend. We will do it here. So let's refresh. Yes, it's currently pulling off this stuff. So let's click on select variant, and we can select the variant. Let's say for example this one, and maybe this one. So let's check why the add-on variant is not working. Yes, we forget await here. So it will be async function, and we can just select the variant here again and here again, and also you can display the products. For example, we can display the products, and you can select the product. For example, it's much better than variant, so we can just go back here, yeah, to have a product instead of the variant, which is much easier to like figure out which variant to choose. And also if we would like to do this, instead of the variant ID, it will be, let's do product here, so it will be the product instead of the ID, and it will be the first one, so we can just have the first one and the first variant, because if we would like to log to check the console log, So it's variant, and the first one is the selected one, it will be ID. So let's do the stuff here also. Yes, and to make it better, let's remove this one here, and that's great. So as you can see here, we have like a slash product, but it should be slash product variant. Let's I don't like the product, maybe the oxygen one, and we are getting the product variant. Maybe have it with this simple product, like a free product. Let's save it, search for the oxygen, click on buy it now, and as you can see here, we have, when we are pushing this one, we are getting a free product, which is this one that costs about like a 150, but it's currently for free. So that's it, and let's see you on the next Shopify function API video. Thank you.